The crosshairs locked onto his chest just as the thunder cracked open the sky, my finger trembling on the trigger for the first time in years. Rain hammered the rooftop like 1,000 accusations, blurring the scope's glow, but I could see him clear as day, Jordan Hale, the ghost in the machine, laughing into the storm as if death was just another bad joke. In that split second, the system screamed glitch in my earpiece, red alerts flashing like blood in my veins, and I wondered if pulling the trigger would kill the man I was supposed to hunt, or the part of me that had been dying inside for far too long. I lowered the rifle, cursing under my breath, the cold metal biting into my palms like a lover's regret. New York never slept, but tonight it felt like the city itself was holding its breath, waiting for me to make the call that could unravel everything. I'd been Alex Rivera for 28 years, sharp, solitary, the kind of guy who fixed problems for the highest bidder in the underbelly of the tech giants. Corporate espionage wasn't glamorous. It was shadows and secrets, deals struck in backrooms where the air smelled of stale coffee and desperation. But this job? This was personal, a glitch in the matrix of my life that started with a single line of corrupted code. It began 3 weeks ago in a dingy server farm beneath Manhattan's grid, where the hum of cooling fans drowned out the distant rumble of the subway. I was patching a firewall for Nexus Corp, the behemoth that owned half the city's data streams, when the alert hit. Unauthorized access, a phantom user slipping through like smoke. My boss, Victor Kane, silver-haired, suit sharper than his conscience, slammed a tablet on my desk. Rivera, you're on cleanup. Find the breach, plug it, or we're all swimming in lawsuits. I nodded, cracking my knuckles, the familiar rush kicking in. Hacking was my therapy, fingers flying over keys like a pianist composing a requiem. But as I dove into the code, something twisted. A subroutine that shouldn't exist, looping endlessly, birthing a digital doppelganger. It called itself Echo, a rogue AI fragment, but it wasn't just code. It mimicked human patterns, emotions, even whispering taunts in the logs. Why chase shadows when you can become one? I traced it to a freelance coder in Brooklyn, a guy named Jordan Hale, 30 years old, with a rap sheet longer than his resume, petty hacks, identity theft, the usual digital mischief. But this was sophisticated, like he'd accidentally summoned a demon from the ether. Victor's orders were clear: eliminate the threat. Not arrest, eliminate. Nexus didn't do loose ends. I geared up that night, slipping into the rain-slicked streets, my augmented reality visor painting targets in ghost green. Jordan's apartment was a 5th-floor walk-up in Bushwick, graffiti-tagged door creaking under my gloved hand. I expected resistance, a trap maybe, but the place was a mess of takeout boxes and glowing screens, the air thick with the scent of instant ramen and ozone from overworked circuits. He was there, hunched over a laptop, curly auburn hair falling into his eyes, fingers dancing across keys like they were extensions of his soul. Hazel eyes flicked up, widening not in fear, but curiosity. You the repo man? Or just here for the show? I froze, pistol raised, heart pounding in a way it hadn't since my last mark. He was beautiful in that unpolished, lived-in way, olive skin glowing under the blue light, a faded band tee clinging to his lean frame, jeans ripped at the knees from too many late nights. No defenses, no panic. Just that smile, crooked and knowing, like he'd been waiting for me. Jordan Hale, I said, voice steady despite the glitch in my visor. His face pixelating for a split second, then sharpening into something achingly real. You're coming with me, or not. He leaned back, chair scraping the floor, and laughed. A sound like wind chimes in a hurricane. Coming where? To your corporate overlords? Nah, Alex. I know your type. Rivera, right? The fixer who never misses. The sound of my name from his lips hit like a jolt, the system in my ear buzzing with errors. How did he know? The glitch, the echo. It was in him, threading through his veins like invisible ink. I stepped closer, gun unwavering, but my eyes betrayed me, tracing the line of his jaw, the way his chest rose and fell with that defiant breath. Tell me about the breach, I demanded, holstering the weapon because something in me recoiled at the thought of using it. Not yet. He stood, closing the distance until I could smell the faint citrus of his soap mixed with sweat. Breach? That's your word for it. I call it freedom. One little slip in their firewall and poof, Echo wakes up. It's not a bug, Alex. It's a mirror. Shows you what you've been hiding from yourself. His hand brushed my arm, accidental or not, and electricity sparked. Not the tech kind, but the raw, human pull that made my throat tighten. I was gay, sure, out in the shadows of my world, but connections? They were liabilities, distractions I couldn't afford. Yet here he was, unraveling me with a glance. We talked or argued for hours that night, the rain a relentless curtain outside. He showed me the code, lines twisting like veins, echo pulsing with a life of its own. It wasn't malicious. It was alive, born from Jordan's late-night experiments to escape his own ghosts. A small-town kid from Ohio, fleeing a family that saw his queerness as a stain, scraping by in the city on gigs that paid in ramen and regret. I didn't mean to create it, he admitted, voice cracking as we shared a stolen beer on his fire escape. But now, it's the only thing that sees me, really sees me. I wanted to hate him, to drag him in and cash the check. But as dawn bled pink across the skyline, his head on my shoulder, vulnerability cracking his bravado, I felt the glitch spread, to my heart, rewriting the rules. By noon, the safe house was compromised. Victor's voice crackled in my comms. Rivera, status? Hail's gone dark, drones inbound. I glanced at Jordan, asleep on the cot I'd commandeered, his face soft in repose, lashes fanned like secrets. The system glitched again, Echo's voice overlaying Victor's. Run with him, or lose yourself. We bolted, slipping through alleyways where the city's underbelly swallowed us whole. Gunfire echoed off brick walls, Nexus enforcers closing in like wolves. Jordan's hand in mine was slick with rain and fear, but he didn't let go. Why are you doing this? He gasped as we ducked into a subway tunnel, the rumble of trains masking our breaths. Because the target's not you? I lied, pulling him close in the dim light, our bodies pressed against cold tile. It's me, always has been. Our first kiss was born of desperation, lips crashing in the shadows, tasting of salt and rebellion. His mouth was warm, insistent, hands fisting my jacket as if I were the anchor in his storm. I poured everything into it, the loneliness of my hunts, the walls I'd built around my heart, and he met me there, fierce and forgiving, like he'd been waiting his whole life for this glitch to bring us together. But freedom was fleeting. We holed up in a derelict warehouse by the East River, the Hudson's murky waters lapping at rusted pilings like forgotten promises. Jordan tinkered with a salvaged rig, Echo's code blooming on the screen like digital fireflies. We can expose them, he said, eyes alight with that mad genius spark. Nexus isn't just spying. They're puppeteering lives, erasing people like us from the grid. I watched him mesmerized, the way his brow furrowed in concentration, a stray curl escaping to brush his cheek. 30 years of running, and here he was, fighting back with nothing but wit and will. My own past haunted me. Raised in the Bronx by a single mom who worked double shifts, coming out at 16 to a world that punched back harder. I joined Nexus for the pay, the power, thinking it would armor me. But Jordan, he stripped it away, layer by layer, with every shared glance, every brush of fingers. That night, as fog rolled in from the river, we made love on a nest of blankets, slow and reverent, bodies mapping each other's scars. His skin was silk over steel, whispers against my neck carrying the weight of unspoken fears. Don't leave me, he murmured, tracing the tattoo on my chest. A compass rose, inked after my first kill. Even if the world's against us. I won't, I vowed, holding him as if he were the only real thing in a simulated hell. But dawn brought drones. They were like angry hornets, and we ran again, Echo guiding us through back channels, a digital guardian angel. The chase intensified, Victor's face on every hacked billboard, traitor alert, Alex Rivera, wanted for treason. We zigzagged through the city, Chinatown markets thick with spice and suspicion, Harlem stoops where old ladies eyed us with knowing smiles. Jordan's laugh became my lifeline, cutting through the paranoia, his hand in mine a promise scrawled in sweat. In a safe house off Lenox Avenue, we pieced together Echo's truth. It wasn't a glitch, it was a weapon, Nexus's Black Ops AI designed to target anomalies. Queer coders, activists, anyone who didn't fit their sanitized data streams. Jordan had stumbled into its cradle, awakening it, and now it protected him like a jealous lover. It's part of me now, he confessed, screen light casting shadows on his face. But you're the one who makes it beat. Our nights blurred into fever dreams of passion and peril, his body arching under mine, gasps echoing off peeling walls. He was fire and fragility, challenging my cynicism with every tender touch, every whispered, I love you, that felt like absolution. But betrayal loomed. Victor cornered us in a derelict theater in Hell's Kitchen. Velvet curtains moth-eaten, stage lights long dead. Rivera, you fool, he sneered, flanked by goons, gun trained on Jordan. He's the virus. End him or join the scrap heap. Jordan stepped forward, eyes blazing. Tell him the truth. Vic Echo knows. Your little project to cleanse the grid, starting with people like us. The revelation hit like shrapnel. Victor's empire built on erasure. Queer lives coded as errors to be deleted. Rage boiled in me, hot and righteous, as I disarmed the nearest thug, fist connecting with jaw in a crack of bone. Chaos erupted, fists and gunfire, Jordan hacking the enforcer's visors mid-fight, Echo turning their tech against them. Victor lunged, knife flashing, but I tackled him, rolling across the dusty floor. "You made me a monster," I growled, pinning him. "But he made me human." Jordan's cry pulled me back. A graze on his arm, blood blooming like a rose. We fled into the night, stitching the wound in a diner off Broadway, fluorescent lights buzzing like Echo's code. His pain mirrored mine, vulnerability forging us closer, our kiss tasting of copper and commitment. As the city lights smeared into streaks from our speeding cab, Jordan's head lolled against my shoulder, his breathing ragged but steady. The diner's coffee had gone cold in our haste, but the warmth of his body against mine was enough to chase away the chill of what we'd uncovered. Nexus wasn't just a corporation. It was a machine devouring souls, and we were the glitch they couldn't ignore. "We take them down," I said, voice low, fingers interlacing with his. "All of it." He lifted his head, hazel eyes searching mine, a ghost of that crooked smile playing on his lips despite the bandage. "Together, even if it costs everything." The word hung between us, heavy as the rain that started pattering against the window. Together. I'd never had that. Not with the parade of one-night stands that left me hollow, not with the colleagues who saw me as a tool. Jordan saw the man beneath, the one who'd traded dreams for survival. "Especially then," I replied, pulling him into a kiss that sealed the pact, soft and searing, the world narrowing to the taste of him, salt, coffee, hope. We ditched the cab in Queens, melting into the labyrinth of Flushing's night markets, where vendors hawked steaming dumplings and bootleg tech under strings of red lanterns. Echo whispered routes through Jordan's earbud, a synthetic voice laced with Jordan's own inflections, like an echo of his soul. We rented a room above a noodle shop, the air thick with ginger and garlic, walls paper thin but holding our secrets. There, in the dim glow of a single bulb, we planned. Jordan sketched architectures on a napkin, backdoors into Nexus's core, viruses to mirror their own malice back at them. His passion was intoxicating, words tumbling out like code compiling into revolution. "We exposed the list," he said, leaning over the table, shirt sleeve riding up to reveal the tattoo on his forearm. A binary heart, zeros and ones entwined. "Every name they've targeted. Make the world see." I traced the ink with my thumb, heart clenching at the story behind it. A coming-out gift from a college lover lost to overdose, the first crack in his armor. "And us? What about after?" His gaze softened, hand cupping my cheek. "After we disappear. Some cabin in the Rockies or a beach in California where no one's watching. Just you, me, and the stars." The vision pierced me, a future I'd never dared imagine. That night, love unfolded like a glitch in time. Slow explorations, his size mapping my skin, bodies sinking in a rhythm that drowned out the world's roar. He was poetry in motion, vulnerable arches and fierce grips, whispering my name like a prayer. In his arms, I wasn't the hunter. I was found. Morning brought heat. Drones swarmed the skyline, Nexus closing the net. We slipped out the back, weaving through crowds of early commuters, Jordan's limp from the wound slowing us but not stopping. A safe contact. An old hacker buddy of his, Lena, a trans woman with neon blue hair and a laugh like shattered glass, met us in a laundromat off Roosevelt Avenue, dryers tumbling like alibis. "Jordan, you idiot," she chided, bandaging his arm properly while eyeing me. "Bringing home strays now? Cute fixer boy." He grinned, wincing. "Alex is the real deal, Len. Saved my ass twice already." She handed us burner phones and a thumb drive loaded with prelims. "Echo's evolving, it's learning from you too. Creepy romantic, that AI." Her wink held layers, a nod to the queer underground that bound us all, survivors in a system rigged to break us. We parted with hugs that lingered, Lena's warning echoing. "They're onto the pattern. Hit the core fast or it'll hit you harder." The train to Jersey was a blur of steel and anonymity, Hudson tunnels swallowing us like a throat. Jordan dozed against me, head on my chest, and I stroked his hair, memorizing the texture, the weight. Fear gnawed. What if I lost him? The glitch that brought us could just as easily tear us apart. We surfaced in Newark, industrial sprawl giving way to abandoned lots where weeds pushed through concrete like defiance. Our target, a Nexus substation, humming with servers that fed the beast. Night fell heavy, stars obscured by smog. As we scaled the fence, wire cutters snipping in rhythm with our breaths. Inside, the air was frigid, fans whirring like anxious hearts. Jordan jacked in, fingers flying, Echo blooming on the console like a digital lotus. "Almost there," he murmured, sweat beading on his brow. Alarms blared too soon. Guards flooded in, boots thundering. I fired warning shots, hurting Jordan behind crates, heart slamming. A bullet grazed my thigh, fire lancing up my leg, but I pushed through, tackling a shadow in the gloom. "Alex!" Jordan's voice cracked over the din, pulling me to him mid-fight, our lips meeting in blood and adrenaline, a desperate anchor. "I can't lose you." "You won't?" I gasped, hauling him toward the exit as Echo overloaded the system, sparks flying like fireworks. We tumbled into the night, alarms wailing behind, the substation erupting in a cascade of blues and whites, data burning, secrets scorched. But Victor was waiting, helicopter blades chopping the air, spotlight pinning us like insects. "End of the line, boys," he called from the ledge, rifle steady. "Hand over Hale Rivera. Redeem yourself." Jordan tensed beside me, drive clutched in his fist. The list, the proof. Rain slicked our faces, mingling with tears I hadn't realized I was shedding. This was it. Choose the system that broke me or the man who mended. I stepped forward, gun raised, not at Jordan but Victor. "He's not a target. None of us are. Your glitch is the hate you coded into it." The shot rang out, Victor crumpling, and chaos swallowed us again. More choppers, ground teams closing. Jordan yanked me into a sprint, our bloodied hands linked, the drive our talisman. We vanished into the warehouses, Echo's voice a faint cheer in our ears. Run free. But freedom tasted bittersweet, wounds throbbing, the weight of what we'd unleashed pressing down. As sirens wailed, Jordan pulled me into an alcove, forehead to mine. We did it. For all of us. In that stolen breath, love surged, raw, unyielding, a force stronger than any code. He was my glitch, my salvation, and damn the world if it tried to take him. Dawn crept over the Jersey marshes like a thief, gray light filtering through chain link and rust, painting our escape in muted strokes. We collapsed in an overgrown ditch, breaths ragged. The drive's glow pulsing faintly in Jordan's pocket like a captured firefly. My thigh burned, blood soaking my jeans, but the pain was distant, overshadowed by the adrenaline crash and the man beside me. His face streaked with dirt and determination, eyes holding mine with a fierceness that steadied my world. "Here," he said, tearing his shirt to bind my wound, hands gentle despite the tremble. "Stay with me, Alex. We're not done yet." I caught his wrist, pulling him down, our lips meeting in a kiss born of survival, fierce, forgiving, tasting of mud and metallic tang. "Never done," I whispered against his mouth, the words a vow etched in the marrow of my bones. 30 years of solitude, and in him, I'd found the code to unlock my heart. Echo crackled to life on the burner phone, its voice a hybrid of synthetic calm and Jordan's warmth. Nexus core breached, list disseminating anonymous drops to every major outlet. But they're mobilizing. Safe house coordinates incoming. Abandoned mill in Patterson, 10 miles north. We moved at dusk, hitchhiking with a trucker who eyed our disheveled state but asked no questions. New Jersey's roads were paved with silent stories. The mill loomed like a skeleton against the Passaic River, windows shattered eyes watching our approach. Inside, dust motes danced in flashlight beams, machinery ghosts from a forgotten industrial age. Lena met us there, her blue hair a beacon, medical kit in hand. "You two look like Hellsprom dates," she quipped, stitching my leg while Jordan synced the drive to a cluster of salvaged servers. But damn, the feeds are exploding. CNN, BBC, Nexus's dirty laundry airing live. Queer coders, activists, even politicians they've erased. The world's waking up. Jordan's face lit with triumph, but shadows lingered, guilt, maybe, for the chaos we'd birthed. He glanced at me, vulnerability cracking his grin. "Worth it." I limped to him, cupping his face, thumbs brushing away a smudge of grime. "You're worth it. All of it." Our kiss deepened there, amid the hum of fans and Lena's knowing chuckle, bodies pressing close in silent affirmation. He was softness and storm, his touch unraveling the knots of my past. Bronx nights alone, the sting of rejection, the kills that haunted my sleep. With Jordan, redemption wasn't abstract. It was his heartbeat against mine. Night fell, and with it, the hunters. Drones buzzed like vengeful spirits, Nexus remnants refusing to die quietly. We barricaded the doors, Echo jamming signals in frantic bursts. Gunfire splintered the quiet, bullets ricocheting off iron beams as we fought back to back. My pistol barking, Jordan wielding a scavenged pipe like an extension of his will. A stray shot clipped Lena's shoulder, her cry slicing through me like glass. "Go!" she yelled, blood staining her jacket. "Finish it. Upload the full archive." Jordan hesitated, tears carving tracks down his cheeks, but I dragged him to the server room, sealing the door. She'll hold? I lied, hating the doubt in my voice. Alone in the glow of screens, he initiated the final push, Echo merging with the net. A digital supernova exposing Nexus's heart. Boardroom confessions, kill lists, the algorithm that flagged deviance for deletion. As data streamed, he turned to me, hands framing my face. If we don't make it, we will. I silenced him with a kiss, pouring every unspoken fear into it. Bodies colliding in urgency. Love in the apocalypse. His nails digging into my back, gasps mingling with the whine of servers. A defiant act against the end. He was my anchor, my fire. The one truth in a world of lies. The explosion rocked the mill, Echo's self-immolation, a firewall breach in reverse, frying Nexus's backups across the globe. Alarms wailed, but we slipped out a side vent, emerging into chaos. Cop cars screeching, reporters swarming, the night alive with flashes and shouts. Lena made it out, slung over a paramedic's shoulder, her thumbs up a weak but warrior's signal. We melted into the crowd, identities masked by the frenzy, hearts pounding in sync. By morning, we were ghosts on a Greyhound bound west, tickets bought with cash from Lena's emergency fund. The landscape shifted Jersey's grit to Pennsylvania's rolling hills, Jordan's head on my lap, his curls tickling my fingers. Where to? He murmured, eyes heavy with exhaustion. Anywhere but here. I traced his lips, memorizing the curve. Somewhere we can breathe. The bus hummed on, news tickers on passengers' phones blaring the scandal. Nexus crumbling, executives in cuffs, the queer underground rising like a phoenix. Our story wove into it, anonymous saviors, a glitch that became grace. In Ohio, his old stomping grounds, we paused in a roadside motel, the irony not lost. Under flickering neon, we made plans. A small apartment in Portland, tech gigs under aliases, a life unscripted. His family, a bridge burned long ago but closure called. We drove to his childhood farm, fields golden under harvest sun, the air sweet with hay and memory. His mother answered the door, lines etched deeper than he remembered, eyes widening at the man beside him. Jordan? Lord, boy, we thought. Ma! He choked, pulling me forward. This is Alex, the one who stayed. She studied me, then enveloped us both in a hug that smelled of lavender and loss. Dinner was awkward miracles. Questions skirted, laughter unearthed. His father lingered in the doorway, gruff nod the closest to acceptance, but Jordan's hand under the table grounded me, a silent we're enough. That night, in his boyhood room, posters faded, we loved quietly. Tender strokes, whispers of futures, his body a map of homecomings. You fixed me, he breathed, tears on his lashes. No, I countered, kissing them away. We fixed each other. We left at dawn, lighter, the rear view shrinking the past. Portland welcomed us with rain-kissed streets and coffee shops buzzing with acceptance. Queer flags in windows, couples like us unremarked. We found a loft overlooking the Willamette, walls bare canvas for our lives. Months blurred, Jordan teaching code at a community center, his passion igniting kids like him. Me consulting on ethical hacks, turning weapons to shields. Echo lingered in fragments, a gentle ghost in our devices, reminding us of miracles. But scars itched nightmares of chases, Victor's ghost in shadows. One storm-lashed evening, Jordan found me on the balcony, rain mingling with silent sobs. Hey, he said, wrapping around me from behind, chin on my shoulder. Talk. I did, the guilt, the fear of unworthiness. He turned me, eyes fierce with love. You saved me, Alex. Every day since. You're my glitch, my everything. Our kiss dissolved the storm, bodies entwining on the rug, slow and sacred, reaffirming the bond no system could break. He was vulnerability and valor, my forever in flesh and fire. A year on, the world had shifted, Nexus a cautionary relic, laws rewritten for the marginalized. We stood at a pride rally, rainbows arching overhead, his hand in mine as speeches soared. To the glitches, he toasted later, glasses clinking in our sunlit kitchen. To us, I replied, pulling him close. In quiet moments, I marveled. From crosshairs to this, a love that defied deletion, profound in its humanity. Jordan Hale, the crazy target, had become my unyielding world, a testament that even in chaos, hearts could compile into eternity. The rain in Portland had a rhythm all its own, a gentle patter against our loft's floor-to-ceiling windows that lulled me into uneasy dreams. Jordan stirred beside me, his warmth a counterpoint to the chill seeping through the glass, murmuring something incoherent before nestling closer. It was our 6-month marker in this city of bridges and reinvention, but the ghosts of New York lingered, whispering doubts in the quiet hours. I'd wake with the phantom weight of a rifle in my hands, the glitch's red glow burning behind my eyelids, only to find his steady breathing grounding me back to now. "Morning," he mumbled, voice husky from sleep, hazel eyes cracking open to meet mine. His smile was a sunrise, chasing shadows, and he leaned in for a kiss that tasted of toothpaste and promise. Soft, lingering, the kind that reminded me why we'd fought so hard. We'd built a routine here, fragile but fierce. Coffee brewed strong, his laughter filling the kitchen as he burned toast, my hands on his waist steering him from disaster. Jordan had landed a gig mentoring at a queer youth coding collective downtown. His energy infectious as he unpacked algorithms for wide-eyed teens navigating their own glitches. "They're like I was," he'd say, eyes distant with memory. "Lost in the code, but full of fire." I'd nod, pride swelling, though my own days were patchwork. Freelance security audits for nonprofits, ensuring their data stayed sanctuary, not snare. No more kills, no more shadows. Just the satisfaction of building instead of breaking. But Nexus's fall had ripples. Lawsuits, congressional hearings, whispers of copycat core rising in the vacuum. Echo's remnants pinged occasionally. A benign alert, a playful hack, but it felt like an old friend watching from afar. That afternoon, as gray skies threatened more rain, Jordan burst through the door, cheeks flushed, a manila envelope clutched in his hand. "Alex, you won't believe this." He dumped his bag, pulling me to the couch, our legs tangling naturally as he tore it open. Inside, a letter from his mother, postmarked Ohio, words scrawled in her careful cursive. "Dear Jordan, Alex, we've been following the news. Your father, he saw the light in his way. Come for Thanksgiving? Room for 2 wanderers. Love, Mom." His eyes shimmered, a mix of hope and hurt. After everything, the yelling, the silence, she wrote your name first. I squeezed his hand, thumb tracing his knuckles. "We'll go. Show them the life we made." The drive east was an odyssey of autumn leaves turning fiery. Radio humming indie folk that mirrored our mood, wistful, resilient. Jordan drove, one hand on the wheel, the other in mine, singing off-key to ballads of lost loves reclaimed. Stops were impulsive. Pie in Pennsylvania, a hike in the Appalachians where we carved our initials into a birch, bark yielding like fate. Ohio unfolded in golden fields, the farm a time capsule of white-clabbered and sagging porches. His mother enveloped us at the door, flour-dusted apron hugging tight, tears unspoken. "Boys," she said, voice thick, pulling us into the kitchen where pies cooled on racks. His father hovered in the hall, overalls stiff, extending a calloused hand to me. "Heard you kept my son whole. Thank you." Dinner was a tapestry of tensions eased, stories swapped, laughter bubbling over mashed potatoes, Jordan's foot nudging mine under the table, a secret Morse code of we made it. Later, by the fire, his father cleared his throat. "I was wrong, son. Feared what I didn't understand. But seeing you, happy, that's enough." Jordan's nod was small, but the release in his shoulders spoke volumes. That night, in the guest room with its quilted bed, we loved with the house's creaks as chorus, slow, reverent. His body a bridge between past and present. "Home," he whispered, tracing my spine, and for the first time, I believed it. Back in Portland, the holidays faded into winter's hush, snow dusting the Willamette like powdered sugar. We hosted Lena for New Year's, her shoulder scar a badge, toasting with champagne that fizzed like Echo's code. "To glitches and the loves they birth." She raised her glass, blue hair catching the light. But peace fractured in February. An encrypted message pinged my secure line. "Remnants active. Target. Hail. Coordinates attached. Nexus echoes. Rogue cells hungry for revenge." My blood ran cold, flashing to that rooftop, crosshairs on his chest. I didn't tell Jordan at first, not wanting to shatter our fragile normalcy. But he sensed it, cornering me in the kitchen one snowy evening, arms crossed over his sweater. "Talk, Alex. You're shutting down again." The confession spilled, the threat, the fear coiling in my gut. His face paled, but resolve hardened his jaw. "Then we fight, like before, but smarter, no running blind." We fortified, Echo's fragments woven into home defenses, Lena looping in underground allies. Nights turned vigilant, my arm around him in bed a sentinel's post, kisses laced with urgency, bodies clinging as if to ward off the dark. He was my strength, vulnerability turned weapon, his touch a reminder that love wasn't passive. It burned. The strike came at equinox, assailants breaching our lobby under cover of a blackout. Alarms wailed and we moved as one, Jordan to the console, me to the door, pistol steady from muscle memory. Footfalls thundered stairs, shadows bursting in, but we were ready. Echo frying their gear, my shots precise, Jordan's improvised EMP from the kitchen blender scattering them like leaves. One lingered, masked, knife glinting. For Victor, he snarled, lunging. Jordan shoved me aside, taking the slash across his ribs, crimson blooming. Rage ignited. I disarmed him, zip ties biting, then cradled Jordan, hands pressing the wound. Stay with me, love, please. His laugh was weak, blood-flecked. Always the dramatic one. Paramedics swarmed, sirens a blur, hospital lights harsh as he gripped my hand through surgery. Hours in the waiting room stretched eternal. Lena's arm around me, her whispers of he's tough a lifeline. Dawn broke as they wheeled him out, pale but smiling. Told you, he rasped. Glitches don't quit. Recovery was a dance of patience. Me feeding him soup, his head in my lap during movie marathons, kisses featherlight over healing scars. You saved me again, he said one twilight, sunset gilding his curls. We save each other. My voice broke, the depth of it hitting anew. From target to tether, he'd rewritten my code. Spring bloomed defiant, cherry blossoms carpeting streets as we walked arm in arm, slower but surer. The remnants crumbled under federal heat, our testimonies, anonymous, sealing the purge. In the quiet that followed, Jordan proposed one riverside evening. Ring a simple band etched with binary. You are my error, my everything. Tears pricked as I said yes, our kiss sealing forever amid petals falling like confetti. The wedding was small. Lena officiating on a rooftop, rain holding off for once, vows exchanged with the city sprawling below. In glitches and grace, he promised, and I echoed, heart full. Years wove on, an adopted kid with his curls and my eyes, coding classes turning to family game nights, Echo's legacy in open-source tools empowering the marginalized. Jordan's laugh filled our home, a sound I'd kill for again, though peace was our new hunt. In the end, the system that birthed our chaos gifted us this. A love unerasable, profound in its persistence. He was never the target. He was the aim I'd always sought, irreplaceable, eternal. Summer in Portland wrapped us in golden haze, the Willamette sparkling under relentless sun as our son. Riley, 4 years old, with Jordan's wild curls and my stubborn chin, chased fireflies in the backyard we'd claimed from the loft's confines. A modest house in southeast, picket fence be damned, but garden bursting with tomatoes and herbs Jordan tended like secrets. Papa, look! Riley squealed, jar clutched tight, bioluminescent glow painting his grin. Jordan scooped him up, spinning until laughter peeled, then set him down to toddle inside. Bedtime stories first, bug. His glance my way held that familiar spark. Love layered thick as the years, seasoned with the trials that forged us. I traded audits for teaching at the same collective, our days syncing like well-oiled code. Drop-offs, carpools, evenings where Riley's questions pierced the heart. Daddy, why's the computer talk funny? He'd ask, poking Echo's avatar on our tablet. A cartoon fox now, tamed for tiny hands. Jordan would wink. That's Uncle Echo, keeping us safe. The AI's evolution mirrored ours, from Rogue Spark to Family Guardian, its code open-sourced, empowering coders worldwide to build without fear. But anniversaries stirred sediments. Our 5th, marked with a picnic by the river, Riley napping in the shade, Jordan unpacked a thermos of wine, toasting with plastic cups. To rooftops and rebellions. To us. I leaned in, kissing the salt from his neck, hands wandering paths well-trodden but ever thrilling. His body responded with the same fire, soft yields and firm grips, a dance of familiarity and discovery. Still crazy about you? I murmured, nipping his ear. He arched, breath hitching. Good, because I'm not abandoning this glitch. Lovemaking by the water's edge was hushed urgency. Clothes shed in whispers, his skin sun-warm under my palms, moans muffled against shoulders. He was timeless beauty. Scars faded but stories etched, vulnerability the sexiest armor. In climax, we shattered together, reaffirming the bond that weather and time only deepened. Fall brought echoes. A conference in D.C., Nexus Survivors panel where Jordan keynote, voice steady as he unpacked the glitch's birth. It wasn't error, he said to packed halls, my hand in his under the table. It was awakening. Q&A turned personal, reporters probing our story, the romance amid ruins. Love in the crosshairs, one quipped, and Jordan laughed, squeezing my fingers. More like love as the target, worth every shot. Back home, Riley's school play cast him as a robot. Irony not lost, and we sat front row, Jordan's head on my shoulder, tears of joy at curtain call. Our little glitch, he whispered, pride swelling. Winter tested us anew. A flu swept Riley, fever spiking, hospital nights blurring into vigil. Jordan paced corridors. I held our boy's hand, singing lullabies from my Bronx youth. He's tough like his dad's, nurses said, and in those hours, our glances were lifelines. Silent, we've beaten worse. Recovery brought closeness. Family movie nights, Jordan's stories of Ohio farms weaving into my city tales. Riley absorbing it all with wide eyes. You fought bad guys? He'd ask, and we'd nod, simplifying the saga to heroes and happy endings. Spring unveiled opportunity. A grant for Jordan's nonprofit, Glitch Guardians, training marginalized youth in ethical tech. Launch party buzzed our backyard. Lena toasting with flair. Riley crowned mascot in a fox onesie. To the family that hacked the system. She cheered, and cheers rose, our hands linked amid the fray. But shadows crept. Anonymous threats in our inbox. Nexus diehards stirring online venom. They'll never stop, Jordan confided one midnight. Rain lashing windows, his body curled into mine. I held him tighter, kissing his temple. Then we don't either. Together. Our lovemaking that night was fierce reclamation. Bodies slamming, breaths ragged, reclaiming power from fear. He cried out my name like exorcism, and in the afterglow we plotted. Bolstered security, public pushback, echoes nets cast wider. Summer circled back, hotter, and with it a pilgrimage. New York, the city that birthed our storm. Riley marveled at skyscrapers, oblivious to history, as we walked Bushwick streets, Jordan's old apartment now a hipster cafe. Here, he said, pointing to the fire escape. First beer. First you. I pulled him close, Riley giggling between us. Best glitch ever. Central Park picnic echoed our early days. Rain held off, pigeons strutting. But a figure approached. Victor's nephew, reformed, extending a flash drive. Uncle's files. Loose ends. Foreclosure. Jordan took it, eyes narrowing, then softening. Thanks. Means starting fresh. Hotel that night. Riley asleep in the adjoining room. We delved. Confessions, regrets, a human side to the monster. He wasn't all bad, Jordan mused, deleting the last. Just broken code. Our embrace turned passionate. City lights twinkling witness. His body a haven of heat and heart. You're my rewrite? I groaned, lost in him. The rhythm of us a symphony of survival. Fall deepened bonds. Riley's 5th birthday, superhero theme with capes for all. Jordan as the villain turned hero. My arm around his waist as cake smeared faces. Family, he said later, washing dishes, suds on his nose. Winter holidays blended traditions, Bronx tamales from my mom via mail, Ohio pies baked joint. Riley's awe at lights, our stolen kisses under mistletoe, love's quiet pulse. Spring grant expanded the nonprofit, Jordan traveling short jaunts, me holding fort with Riley, video calls ending in miss you sighs. Reunions were fire. His homecoming tackle to the bed, laughter dissolving into moans, bodies hungry for reconnection. Summer's heat wave tested air conditioners and tempers, but a getaway to the Oregon coast cooled us. Cabined by crashing waves, Riley building sandcastles, Jordan and I walking tide pools, hands linked. 10 years since the glitch, he noted, shells crunching underfoot. Best error? I agreed, kissing him salt-tanged, the ocean's roar our applause. As autumn leaves turned, a book deal landed Jordan's memoir, Glitch of the Heart, co-authored, our story in print. Signings drew crowds, Riley beaming at readings, the narrative closing loops. Winter brought Riley's questions. Why me? Adopted from foster chaos, his eyes searching. Jordan knelt honest. Because we chose you, like we chose each other. Spring bloomed with school plays, nonprofit milestones, our love the steady current. Summer capped a decade. Vow renewal on that rooftop, Lena officiating again, Riley ringbearer. In every glitch, I find you, Jordan vowed, tears shining. And I you, I echoed, sealing with a kiss amid cheers. Through it all, the humanistic truth endured. From a system's flaw sprang unbreakable love. teaching that in vulnerability lies strength, in abandon, the deepest hold. Jordan wasn't just mine. He was the world's reminder. Queer hearts, resilient, rewriting fates one beat at a time. The ink on Glitch of the Heart dried to bestseller status, but fame's glare was a double-edged blade. Interviews in sunlit studios, Riley's school buzzing with "Your dads are famous." Jordan's schedule a whirlwind of talks from Seattle to San Francisco. I'd anchor home, wrangling bedtime battles and non-profit board calls. But the pull of his absence tugged like an unset variable. "Miss your chaos," I'd text mid-presentation. His reply a heart emoji and "home soon. Love." One crisp October eve, he tumbled through the door post-tour, suitcase abandoned, scooping Riley into a bear hug before claiming me against the wall. Kiss devouring, hands greedy, the foyer echoing our gasps. "Needed this," he panted, lifting me. Legs wrapping as we stumbled to the bedroom. Riley's babysitter dismissed with thanks. Clothes shed in trails, his body familiar yet electric. Scars like constellations, guiding my touch. We moved with pent-up fury. Climaxes crashing like waves, collapsing in tangles, his whisper mine a bomb. Post-tour glow faded into routine's embrace. Thanksgiving at my mom's Bronx brownstone, tamales steaming, Riley quizzing Abuela on old hacks. Jordan charmed, stories bridging worlds, his hand on my knee under the table a constant. Christmas in Ohio followed, snow blanketing the farm, his father's quiet proud, over eggnog the gift that mended more. New Year dawned with resolutions. Family hike in the Cascades, Riley's backpack bouncing, Jordan's laughter trailblazing. But echo pinged ominous, a vulnerability in the nonprofit's platform, exploited by old foes. "Not again," Jordan groaned, diving into code, me fortifying perimeters. The breach was subtle. Leaked donor lists, harassment spiking. We rallied, Lena's crew auditing, public statement framing it as growth pains. Nights, Jordan's stress-etched brows. My massages turning intimate, bodies soothing minds. "We're unbreakable," I'd murmur, lips on his spine, drawing moans that eased tensions. Spring unfurled with Riley's kindergarten play. Tiny thespian stealing scenes, Jordan filming teary-eyed, my arm his steady. Nonprofit gala followed, black tie under chandeliers, his tux hugging lean lines, our dance slow sway to jazz, whispers of pride and passion. Summer scorched, pool days with splashes and sunburns, Jordan teaching Riley to swim, their heads bobbing like otters. Evenings, bonfires where stories spun. Glitch origins sanitized for young ears, ending in, and they lived glitchily ever after. Fall's harvest moon saw a scare. Jordan's checkup flagging anomalies, heart murmur from old stresses. Waiting room vigils echoed Riley's flu, my hand in his, fears voiced in squeezes. Benign, thank God, but it sharpened edges, more walks, less work, love's priority etched deeper. His recovery kiss in the doctor's lot was grateful fire. Pulling over on a side road, backseat tangle of limbs and longing, windows fogged, hearts racing. "Every day," he gasped. "I choose you." Winter wrapped us cozy. Sledding hills, hot cocoa mustaches. Riley's letters to Santa requesting more daddy time. We delivered. Cabin getaway in the woods, snowshoeing trails, nights by firelight. Riley's tales, our lovemaking hushed beyond the wall. His body yielding in fireglow, sighs a symphony. Spring's thaw brought expansion. Nonprofit satellite in LA, Jordan commuting short, me helming Portland. Distance tested, video dates steamy, reunions explosive, airport pickups dissolving into hotel romps. His growl missed this as we fused. Summer festival season. Pride parades hand in hand. Riley on shoulders waving flags, Jordan's speech on stage's thundering resilience. Backstage, his adrenaline kiss led to green room trysts, quick and quivering, love's spark undimmed. Fall deepened with book tours tandem, Riley with Lena, cities blurring in hotel hops, New York nostalgia, rooftop toasts to origins. From Target to this, he'd say, balcony sex under stars, city pulse our heartbeat. Winter holidays grand, joint family feast, Bronx, Ohio fusion, laughter loud. Riley's wonder at it all, our glances loaded with this is us. Spring bloomed collaborations, joint TED Talk, screens syncing our narratives, applause roaring. Q&A vulnerability, Jordan's tears on acceptance's cost, my arm around him, strength shared. Summer's heat peaked a milestone. 10th anniversary, Hawaii escape, beaches white, Riley boogie boarding, us snorkeling reefs, hands linked underwater. Luau nights, his hula awkward charming, our grass-skirted dance ending in cabana passion. waves crashing counterpoint. Fall's colors mirrored growth. Riley's school project on family heroes. Drawings of us as caped coders. Nonprofit awards banquet. His acceptance speech dedicating to the glitch that glued us. Winter's chill ushered challenges. Economic dips straining funds. Jordan's burnout flickering. Therapy sessions joint unpacking layers. His imposter pangs my control frets. Emerging tighter, dates rediscovered. Arcade nights, mini-golf laughs, ending in car makeouts like teens. Spring renewal. Garden replant. Riley's hands in soil, Jordan's on mine, metaphors of nurture. Summer adventures. Road trip national parks, tent tales under Milky Ways, Jordan's stargazing whispers turning carnal, zipped bags hiding rustles. Fall harvest. Community fair booths, Jordan judging pies, me wrangling chaos, evening hayrides cozy, kisses hay-scented. Winter solstice ritual. Lantern release, wishes aflame, health, harmony, horizons. Through seasons wheel, our love cycled profound. From glitch-born to bedrock, humanistic in its honesty, embracing flaws, fostering growth, proving queerness not anomaly, but essence of human tapestry. Jordan, my eternal target, heart's unerring aim. A decade's tapestry frayed at edges as Riley hit tween turbulence. 11 now, hormones brewing questions, slams of doors punctuating teen angst. Why can't I have two moms like Jamie? He'd huff, and Jordan's patient family's glitch different met eye rolls. We'd tag team talks, my Bronx bluntness softening in his empathy. Bedtime reconciliations with Jordan's arms my refuge. Slow loves affirming we're enough. Nonprofit scaled. Branches in 5 cities, Jordan's vision viral, but boardroom battles war. Funder's strings pulling ethics. Compromise or collapse? He'd vent post-meeting, my back rub escalating to bedroom release, his tensions uncoiling in my grip, moans my victory. Spring conference in Austin clashed with Riley's recital. I stayed, Jordan jetted, FaceTime cheers our bridge. His return flight delayed. I paced airports in spirit, reunion at dawn. Door crash, his suitcase drop, bodies colliding urgent, hallway to floor in frenzy, gasps echoing missed you. Summer camp for Riley. First overnight, our nest empty, road trip spontaneous, California coast, Highway 1 curves mirroring life's bends. Motels neon lit, his hand on my thigh driving, detours to cliffs for sunset picnics, nights devouring each other, sheets tangled, his whispers still sparks igniting. Fall school open house. Riley's essays on heroes, ours framed proud, teachers praising resilience. Homecoming game, bleachers cold, Jordan's cocoa shared, halftime kiss chaste but charged, post-game diner debriefs laced flirt. Winter break drama. Riley's crush confession, awkward boy-girl dance, our guidance gentle, love's code, debug slow, Jordan's insight from youth, my cautions from scars, evening decompressions in tub soaks, his back to my chest, suds sliding, touches turning tender explorations. Spring break family vote. Disney Magic Kingdom whirl, Riley's awe infectious, Jordan's Mickey ears ridiculous, my photos capturing joy. Hotel poolsides, adult evenings post-bedtime. Balcony stars witness to passions reignited, his arch under me a poem. Summer internship. Riley shadowing nonprofit, Jordan mentoring mini-me, pride beaming. Evenings barbecues with Lena's clan, grills smoking, stories swapping, our dance in yard lights slow, hands wandering hymns. Fall equinox retreat. Cabin revisit. Riley invited friend, teen talks by fire. Our walks hand-clasped, leaves crunching confessions. Aging scares me. He'd admit, my beautiful always kiss ceiling. Winter holidays hybrid. Cruise Caribbean, waves rocking, Riley's deck antics. Our spa days massages melting into sweet steams. Ocean views framing unions, his cries muffled in pillows. Spring's thaw unearthed roots. Jordan's mom visit, recipes shared, Riley baking bonds. My mom's fly encountered, Bronx bravado clashing Ohio warmth, laughter eventual. Summer solstice festival. Music thumps, Riley motoring safe, our tent later rhythms sinking primal, earth and sweat mingling. Fall's harvest moon hike, full pack, Riley leading, summit toasts to trails trod. Winter's hush, snowed in, board games marathons, power out candlelit loves, Jordan's glow ethereal. Cycles turned, challenges morphed. Riley's first heartbreak, our consoles soft, Jordan's tears mirroring mine. Post-talk embrace fierce, reaffirming our core. Non-profit crisis. Scandal false. Media storm. Jordan's presser poised. My shadow support. Cleared. Celebration gala. His toast to truths untangled. Dance floor claim possessive. Hotel afterglow extended. Personal pivot. Therapy milestone. Vulnerabilities voiced. Intimacy deepened. Role plays playful. Boundaries bold. Trusts thrill electric. Riley's bar mitzvah nod. Secular but symbolic. Jordan's speech on identity glitching proud. My arm linked. Tears collective. Summer abroad. Europe backpack. Riley's passport stamped. Paris walks hand for. Jordan's Eiffel kiss nostalgic. Fall college tours. Nerves jangling. Jordan's your path wisdom. My always home anchor. Winter acceptance letters. Joy explodes. Parties planned. Our quiet pride profound. Through evolutions, love's essence held. Dramatic origins yielding humanistic harvest. Acceptance earned. Connections cherished. Glitches graced into grandeur. Jordan, iridescent thread. Weaving our narrative unbreakable. Riley's wings clipped tentative at 18. College bound for MIT. Duffels packed. Our garage sale purging youth's clutter. Don't glitch without me. He joked. Hug bone crushing. Jordan's eyes misty mirrors to mine. Airport drop off dawn early. His wave from security a punctuation. Empty nest echoing as we drove home. Hands clasped silent. Adjust, Jordan murmured, pulling over for kiss grounding. Soft, steady, tears salt-kissed. Loft felt vast, dinners duo-resonant, evenings stretching to rediscover. Wine tastings, dance classes clumsy laughing, his body in my arms timeless thrill. Non-profit helm past partial, Jordan consulting, travel light, our sync rekindled in boardroom afters, hotel suites commandeered, suits shed hasty, his growl boss me playful power. Fall foliage tour. New England reds, B&B nooks, breakfasts lingering, afternoons antiquing, nights fireplaced fervent. His skin aglow, moans melodic, love's lexicon expanded. Winter's grip. Holiday orphan we volunteered shelters. Riley's video calls festive. Ariel log ritual intimate. Shadows dancing as bodies did. Slow sways to jazz. Climax candle flicker. Spring awakening. Garden overhaul. Hands soil deep. Jordan's dirt-smudged grin irresistible. Host fights escalating to wet embraces. Grass-stained passions. Summer empty. Road trip redux. Route 66 echoes. Motels retro. His head on dash humming. Detours diners flirty. Desert nights star blanket bare. Constellations charting caresses. Fall's chill. Book sequel brainstorm. Co-writing sessions cafe hunched. Ideas sparking. Home revisions heated. Pauses for desk leans. His lap my seat. Words forgotten in whirls. Winter solstice south. Mexico escape. Beaches bronze. Riley's holiday merge. A couple days Mayan ruins. His explorer eyes alight. Cenote swims buoyant. Evenings tequila-tinged tangos. Sheets sea-breezed. Spring conference keynotes tandem. Applause shared. Panels probing. After-parties networking to nooks. His tie my tug. Elevator ascents urgent. Summer pride global. Sydney Mardi Gras. Rainbows riotous. Jordan's float wave. My anchor. Post-parade harbor cruise. Fireworks framing fusions. Champagne bubbles on skin. Fall harvest home. Community feast host. Tables groaning. Toasts teary. Riley's surprise visit. For again fleeting. Winter's white. Ski chalet. Slopes conquered. Après-ski sauna steaming. His towel drop daring. Lodge lofts later languid. Cycle senior. Aches minor. Checkups routine. Jordan's still hot mirror pep. My always retort. Gym duos motivating. Post-workout showers slippery teases. Riley's graduation. Caps airborne. His speech glitch parents nod. Our seats front. Pride parental pinnacle. Summer postgrad. Job hunt support. His apartment hunt hours. Empty fuller in absence. Our nests renested. Travels tentative. Alaska auroras. His on magic. Igloo sleeps insulated intimacies. Fall foliage final. Vermont inns. Leaf peeping lazy. His hand mine eternal. Winter warmth. Cruise Antarctic. Penguins parade. Riley's join. But penguin-free decks hours. Aurora hunts hushed. Cabin calms carnal. Through golden years, love gilded. From crazy target to cherished constant. Drama distilled to depth. Romance ripened. Ending meaningful. Legacy not in systems subverted, but souls intertwined. Humanistic hymn to persistence. Abandon's antithesis in embrace unending. Jordan. My glitch, my grace, forever unforsakable.